Okay, so brother and sister, this is basically the discussion that we will do today. Okay, I divide it to 6 parts. Okay, so first of all, we will see the introduction. Okay, so basically when it comes to Takaful, okay, it is basically relating to the existence of risk. Okay, Takaful or insurance, okay, it is basically relating to the existence of risk. Okay, the possibility of something happen in the future. Okay, and then of course, okay, this something, the event of the future, of course, as a human being, it is very, it is basically cannot be predicted. Okay, as human being, we cannot see what will happen in the future. Okay, so this is why, okay, they came out with the concept of insurance. Okay, and then of course Takaful. Okay, for our discussion today. Okay, so basically right now, this kind of this kind of future, this kind of risk, okay, basically, okay, it is, if we go really in depth, okay, into the discussion of Islamic studies, okay, it will be relating to qada and qadar. Okay, so as Muslims, basically, we are encouraged to believe in qada and qadar. Okay, this is the predestined fate. Okay, and then of course in Islam, even though we have to believe in qada and qadar, okay, Islam does not prohibit Muslim, okay, to take any necessary step, okay, to secure, to protect themselves, especially when they are facing calamity, or when they are facing the disaster, or in case of when when the disaster itself is possible. Okay, so it just like, you are preparing to use umbrella when it is, it seems going to rain, just like that. Okay, so right now this is the Islamic worldview. Okay, and then of course, when it comes to Islamic banking and finance, okay, we have Takaful, okay, as an alternative to insurance. Okay, so right now, okay, basically what is Takaful? Let us try to understand a bit on what is Takaful. Okay, so basically, if you go to Central Bank of Malaysia Act, okay, this is based on their report back to 2004. Okay, so basically, they just specifically mention that Takaful is Shariah compliance insurance. Okay, which means that okay, it is akin to insurance. Okay, but then it is fulfilling the Shariah compliance principles. Okay, and then when it comes to the literal meaning of Takaful, okay, it is basically originated, okay, from Arabic word. Okay, it is basically derived from the word of kafala, okay, which means guarantee. Okay, technically, okay, from the perspective of linguistic, okay, Takaful is a joint guarantee, okay, whereby a group of participants, okay, agree to mutually guarantee each other against a defined loss. Okay, so this is the brief technical meaning of Takaful. Okay, so right now, brothers and sisters, okay, we must understand that when it comes to Takaful, it is Sharia compliance mechanism, which is akin to insurance. Okay, but then let's us look at the legal definition. Okay, so basically, before we have Islamic Financial Services Act 2013 or IFSA, okay, we have Takaful Act 1984. Okay, so this is basically is considered as the old law. Okay, when it comes to Takaful. Okay, by the way, brother sister, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Brother Fakri. Okay, so you can see here, you can refer back. Okay, I still believe that you can basically find Takaful Act 1984, okay, in its complete document through online. Okay, so basically, if you go and refer to section 2 of Takaful Act 1984, okay, it is defined as, okay, a scheme based on brotherhood, okay, solidarity and mutual assistance. Okay, for me, this definition is very unique, brother and sister, because why? This is the first time. Okay, this is the first time in the legislative the legislative history, the word brotherhood, okay, solidarity and mutual assistance, okay, being used clearly in a legislation, okay, in a provision, okay. So you can see here the concept here, okay, brotherhood, solidarity, and mutual assistance. This is basically a Shariah concept which are relevant to Takaful. Okay, and then here we continue, okay, which provide for mutual financial aid and assistance to the participant, okay, in case of need, whereby the participant mutually agree to contribute, okay, for that purpose. Okay, so you can see here this definition is basically really closely following the definition, the classical definition of Takaful. Okay, which basically appreciate, okay, the relevant the relevant related concept, okay, of Shariah concept. Okay, inshallah we're going to see further after this. Okay, and then now based on the latest, okay, definition which is provided under section 2 also, okay, of Islamic Financial Services Act 2013, okay, you can see here Takaful is the Islamic counterpart of conventional insurance. It is stated there, okay, it is basically a counterpart of conventional insurance, okay. So this is basically fulfilling, okay. This is basically consistent, okay, with the concept of Shariah compliance insurance, okay. And it is basically exists in both life and family and general forms, whereby it is based on the concept of mutual solidarity. Okay, and a typical Takaful undertaking will consist of a two-tier structure, hybrid of a mutual and a commercial form of company. Okay, so you can see here under this definition given under IBSA, okay, it seems that they already basically, you know, focusing more on mutual solidarity. Okay, so you can see here as compared between these two definitions, between Takaful Act 1984 and IBSA, you can see that, okay, the definition given under IBSA is much more modern. It's much more basically, you know, much more, you know, consolidate, okay, the concept of Shariah when it comes to Takaful. Okay, there's no more brotherhood, there's no more solidarity. Okay, it is basically combined under the concept of mutual solidarity. Okay, brother and sister, do you have any questions so far?
No, doctor.
Okay, thank you. So you can see here, okay, let's us look further. Okay, if we go to the international regulatory authorities, okay, so this is basically the definition given by IOFI and of course IFSB. Okay, so basically if you can see, okay, when it comes to IOFI, it is much more, the definition is much more simple in nature. Okay, a system through which the participant donate, that's it, okay, donate part of all of their contributions, okay, which are used to pay claims for damages. Okay, so here when you refer to IOFI definition, okay, it also mentioned about the company, okay, which is basically acknowledging that, okay, Takaful operators in our modern time must be, okay, must be established in the form of company, okay. And then if you go and refer to IFSB definition, okay, you can see it is almost similar with IBSA. Okay, you can see it is strikingly similar, basically. Okay, Islamic counterpart of conventional insurance and exists in both life and family and general forms, whereby it is based on the concept of mutual solidarity. Okay, and then here you can see here it insists on two-tier structure hybrid of mutual and commercial form of company. Okay, so this is basically much more relevant for the operational part of the Takaful operators. Okay, so brothers and sisters, okay, so let's us look at the development of Takaful. Okay, so basically, if someone asks you, okay, basically Takaful, if they have the opinion, okay, basically Takaful is similar to insurance. Okay, how are you going to answer that? Okay, so basically, yes, when it comes to Takaful in the modern operation, it is almost similar. Okay, it is almost similar to insurance. Okay, this is why if you go back to the definition, it refers back to the counterpart, okay, of conventional insurance. Okay, but then when it comes to the asset itself, it is basically different. Okay, as compared to insurance. Okay, so right now, if we go back, okay, to the historical foundation of Takaful, okay, by the ancestor, okay, it is basically derived, okay, from the practice of Akila, okay, which is known as custom of blood money, Akila. Okay, this is basically when if you go and research further on the history of Akila, okay, it is very interesting because why? Because it is already existed, okay, even before the coming of Islam. Okay, it is been practiced during the Jahiliyah time. Okay, so basically, Akilah basically, during that time, okay, even though they are living tribal, okay, tribal, nomadic, Arab tribes, okay, but then basically, Akilah is used as a mechanism, okay, especially it is used as a risk mitigation mechanism, okay, for this ancient Arab tribe, okay. So what happened here, okay, when it comes to Akilah, okay, especially when there is any kind of, harmful incident, okay? Harmful incident, okay? Such as maybe someone accidentally injured someone else, okay? Instead of going for a war between the tribes, okay, they will have this akila, okay, as a form of, mitigation or as a form of replacement of such injury or loss, okay? So right now, when it comes to Akilah itself, okay, there is element of guarantee, which means that the person, okay, or the tribe themselves, okay, willing to guarantee, okay, for replacement of such loss. Okay, so right now, okay, when the coming of Islam, okay, basically this practice is being approved by Rasulullah SAW, and then of course it is being practiced with certain modification, which means that okay, Rasulullah SAW remove, okay, the element of mystical element whatsoever that they have, even it is basically being cleansed from any kind of prohibited elements. Okay, so basically Akela is very useful as risk mitigation mechanism. It is basically even been included, okay, in the first constitution of Islamic State of Medina. Okay, and then when we come to the time of Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab, okay, even during the time of Sahabi lah, okay, basically Akilah still been used as as a risk mitigation mechanism, okay, especially when come to legal disputes. Okay, so this is one in let's us look at the reported sirah, the reported hadith, okay, which is reported by Sahih Bukhari. Okay, so you can see here, okay, this is narrated, so this is narrated by Abu Hurairah. Okay, so basically what happened here in this case, okay, two women from Huzail clash, okay, they have having quarrel, okay, when one of them hit the other with a stone, which killed her and the fetus in the victim's womb. Okay, so basically the heirs of the victim brought action to the court of the Rasulullah, okay, who gave a verdict that the compensation for the fetus to be a male or female slave. Okay, while the compensation for the victim women is a blood money or diyat to be paid by the akilah, which is the paternal relative of the killer, which means that the paternal relative become the guarantor, okay, for the replacement of the loss. Okay, so on that, of course, by the ancestors, okay, akilah basically, if you go to criminal law, now it is basically relevant relating to qisas and diyat. Okay, but then when we're talking here about takaful, it is basically, okay, a kind of risk mitigation mechanism. Okay, brother and sisters, are you with me? Is it clear or not? Do you have
Yes.
any question? Okay, thank you. Okay, so basically when it comes to Ottoman era, brother and sister, okay, during this time we are facing, we can say that the time of when the clashes of civilization happen. Okay, during this time, okay, of course, Muslim world basically, controlling the economy. Muslim world is the one basically leading the world, the world progress and so on. Okay, while the West, okay, Western countries at that time, they are still living in their dark age. Okay, so what happened here? It is a kind of because of the exchanges of knowledge which is happening during the clash of civilization. Okay, what happened here? Basically, the merchants, the West, okay, the West merchants, okay, the Western merchants, basically they already practice a contract, okay, a type of contract which is known as bottomry contract. Okay, so basically, bottomry contract becoming the basis of the modern insurance as what we have now. Okay, so basically what happened, okay, they will have one company that will become just like insurance company, that they will basically will replace, okay, will replace any kind of loss when come to the merchandise, okay, especially when the ship basically lost in the sea, something like that. Okay, depending on the payment. Okay, and then of course this kind of payment basically will have element of prohibited elements such as riba, interest especially, okay, gharar, and of course maisir, okay, speculation, and of course gambling. Okay, and then you can see in the Muslim world, okay, in the Muslim world, okay, especially during the Ottoman Empire, okay, during this time they have the strongest, they have the biggest, largest ships, okay, navigation. They controlling the sea during this time, okay. If you are familiar with the history, okay, so basically the Ottoman Empire is the one that developed, okay, marine Shariah compliant insurance, okay. So basically during this time, okay, both of the you can say that both of the world, which is from Islamic world and of course the Western world, they have their own way, okay, to have a concept of this kind of risk mechanism, risk mitigation mechanism. Okay, basically in Ottoman Empire, they introduced Sharia compliance insurance. Okay, but then so far, whether the contract of bottomry basically is derived or not from this Shariah compliant insurance, okay, basically there's the history quite blur on that. There's no clear, there's no clear indication for such. Okay, so right now, okay, this Shariah compliance insurance, marine insurance, okay, basically known as Sukarat or Sigorta. Okay, so basically, later on, okay, you can see very advanced. Okay, in 1974, they already have their own Ottoman law of insurance. Okay, even though the term is used is insurance, but then basically it is Sharia compliant. It is basically fulfilling the Sharia compliance requirement. Okay, so basically under this law, they recognize maritime insurance and non-life insurance. Okay, so right now when we come to the modern time, okay, especially after the revival era, okay, especially after the independence of Muslim countries, okay, especially after no during we have the colonial time, okay, after the independence of these countries, okay, the first Sharia compliant insurance, okay, basically can be traced back to 1979, which is developed, okay, in Sudan based on ta'awuni or cooperative model. Okay, so this is basically by the sister, okay, the sister a bit, okay. Okay, do you have any question so far? I hope it is clear, inshallah.
No question, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so you can see here, okay, when you come back to Malaysia, you have to come back to Malaysia. Okay, again, as I said, okay, every country in the world, they have their own development when it comes to Takaful or Islamic banking and finance. Okay, but then now we are referring to Malaysia. Okay, because Malaysia is one of the first country that introduced, okay, a specific law on takaful. Okay, so you can see here the phase is divided into 4 main phases. Okay, the first phases is between 1970 to 1990. Okay, it is start in 1972. Okay, where National Fatwa Community rule that is life insurance in its present form during that time is basically a void contract. Okay, this is a fatwa, religious fatwa. Okay, the religious resolution which is made by National Fatwa Committee in 1972. Okay, so why it is basically void contract? Okay, because basically it has the element of gharar, uncertainty, riba, usury, and maisir, gambling. Okay, so later on, okay, after that, okay, it start to increase. It start because of this fatwa. Okay, it is basically start to encourage the Islamic awareness, the Islamic understanding among Malaysians in that time, up and until basically due to the demand of the public. Okay, in 1982, okay, they established special task force to identify the practicality of insurance company. Okay, in 1984, okay, later on, after 2 years after that, okay, they established Takaful Act 1984, and of course, the birth of the first Takaful operator company, which is known as Syarikat Takaful Malaysia Berhad in Malaysia. Okay, so if you go to Islamic and Finance, okay, the first the first Islamic bank is Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad. Okay, when it comes to Takaful operator in Malaysia, this is Syarikat Takaful Malaysia Berhad. Okay, so right now, later on, okay, in 1988, okay, Bank Negara Malaysia, okay, the Central Bank of Malaysia starts its supervision of the takaful and insurance industry. Okay, so brother and sister, I have one question here. Okay, if you see from 1984 to 1988, okay, why suddenly only in 1988 the Central Bank of Malaysia basically can proceed with complete supervision of takaful industry of this time? Okay, anyone want to guess? Okay, anyone want to try? Okay, so basically, brother and sister, in 1984 to 1988, okay, you can see basically, okay, the industry is still at its very infancy. Okay, after that was information. Okay, okay. So you can see here during this time, the industry itself is still at its stage of infancy. Okay, it is very small. Okay, so when it comes to monitoring, there's no much to do. There's no much to supervise. Okay, so in 1984, okay, basically people are already after 4 years, okay, from 1984, okay, so the public is themselves already familiar, okay, with the establishment of Syarikat, okay, Takaful Malaysia Berhad. Okay, so then, okay, the industry start to become, you can see that it is basically blooming. Okay, and then this is when okay, the supervision can be conducted, okay, much more better, okay, as compared from the first time in 1984 when the legislation was introduced to the public. Okay, so when it comes to the second phase from 1991 to 2000, okay, now we can see the coming, okay, the incorporation of other takaful operators in nation. Okay, in 1993, okay, we can see the establishment of MNI Takaful Berhad. Okay, later on in 1995, okay, ASEAN Takaful Group is established. Okay, in 1997, okay, they have the incorporation of ASEAN Takaful International Limited. Okay, this is basically located at the International Offshore Financial Center Labuan. Okay, this is basically by the system when it comes to this ASEAN group, the ASEAN Takaful Group and ASEAN Takaful International. Basically, this is to encourage, okay, the regional collaboration between countries, okay, between the Muslim countries that we have in Southeast Asia who are basically participating in takaful industry. Okay, in 1998, okay, we can see that, okay, there is a changes, okay, where MNI Takaful is changed to Takaful National Siam Berhad. Okay, and then later on in 2000, okay, Takaful National Siam Berhad, okay, basically changed again, okay, to Etika Takaful, okay, and then basically in 2000, okay, they developed, okay, Takaful Malaysia Berhad and Takaful National, okay, basically develop, okay, the code of ethics, okay, especially when it comes to the operation of Takaful. Okay, so basically, brother and sister, this is some of the reported history. Okay, so when it comes to the third phase, okay, when the second at the time of the second phase, we can see that the Takaful industry in Malaysia start to become much more developed. Okay, with the coming of newcomers to the industry. Okay, and then in 2001, 2010, we can see that the Central Bank of Malaysia as the regulator, now they have much more strategic, they're much more focusing on the strategic, to improve further, the industry, not only Islamic banking and finance, but also Takaful industries, So you can see here in 2001, they introduced financial sector master plan, and then during this time, the the Takaful industries is open, is basically now it is open to other newcomers, So here we can see that in 2002, Maybank Takaful Berhad start to commence their business. And then during this time also they established IFSB, as one of the international regulator. And then 2003, we can see that Takaful Ikhlas start to operate their business in Malaysia. Same goes to newcomers such as Hong Leong, Prudential, BSN, MAA Takaful, HSBC Amanah, Sun Life, Malaysia Takaful. So you can see here, brothers and sisters, with this continuous establishment, with this continuous incorporation of new Takaful operators, you can see that now the the Takaful industry in Malaysia becoming much more, much more dynamic. The progress, basically the development becoming really rapidly increasing. Later on, what happened? 2008, 2010. Now we have the newcomers for Takaful. To name a few, I put here example. And then not just that. In 2009 and 2010. They introduced IFSB. IFSB. Basically introduced guidelines on Takaful. Such as under IFSB 8 guidelines and IFSB 10, which is basically much more relevant to Shariah governance. And then of course later on, Great Eastern Takaful Berhad, basically enter the industry, the Takaful industry. So what will happen now? Now we are basically at the fourth stage, brother and sister. From 2011 to 2024. So you see here now, starting from 2011, we have another financial sector blueprint, which is issued by the Central Bank of Malaysia. So here we can see also, Perbankan dan Insurance Deposit Malaysia Act 2011 was enacted. And then you can see here that they have a revision when it comes to Shariah governance framework in 2012 for the Takaful operation. But then of course this one is not so relevant to us anymore because we have the latest policy on Shariah governance in 2019. So basically in later on 2013, they introduced IFSA, which basically unified, which is uniform the law. And then as for now, up until now, we are referring to IFSA. So basically when it comes to with the introduction of IFSA, it is basically already abolished. Takaful Act 1984. Then on, brothers and sisters, you can see, in 2016, they start to introduce, for the customer protection, they introduced financial ombudsman scheme, okay, where basically the main, okay, the main institution that you should refer to is ombudsman for financial institution, okay, OFS. Okay, you can see basically you can Google, okay, this institution OFS, okay, where basically they also not only not only considering, okay, issues, okay, relating to banking sector, but then also Takaful sector. Okay. Later on, you can see, okay, in 2002, sorry, during this COVID time, okay, 2002 to 2022. Okay. So here you can see that during this time, the Takaful operators also play a certain role, okay, to protect their customers, okay, especially by providing, okay, by providing a coverage, okay, for COVID-19 protection. Okay, so what happened here during this time, if you look at closely, okay, instead of making the customers to sign a new Takaful agreement for such coverage, okay, basically the protection of COVID-19 basically been been placed automatic for their customers, okay, instead of signing to a new contract, okay. And then now, last year, okay, we already come to the age of artificial intelligence, AI. Okay, even in Malaysia, if you follow the news, even they want to introduce AI subject to schools. Okay, starting from 2027, they're going to start about it. Okay, but then we have to see whether it's going to be successful or not. Okay, but then when it comes to Takaful industry, brother and sister, you can see that, okay, by letters, okay, AIA Takaful, okay, they introduce AI based chatbot, okay, AI based chatbot, okay, basically to ease communication with their customers, okay, and then basically, okay, by letters, this year. Okay, this is what basically I heard myself. Okay, basically now they start to introduce AI-based technology, okay, which is basically being done by Prudential BSN. Okay, where basically they introduce this technology in their system. Okay, in their system, especially to speed up, okay, the Takaful profiling of their customers. Okay, so just like when I saw the officer do run the system, okay, it is very interesting. Okay, it is very interesting. Okay, so for example, sister or brother, sister Fadilah, okay, for example, okay. Okay, so sister Nur Fadilah, for example, they put there your detail, okay, your name, your age, okay, and then what basically the coverage that you want to have, okay. So basically the system will basically will suggest the best coverage for you, okay. So basically just by waiting only within 1 minute, okay, they can find you the best Takaful policy for you, okay. But then of course the customers basically they can choose whether they want to proceed with that coverage or not, okay. But then, sister, do you have any question? I hope I'm not going too fast, inshallah. Okay, very silent. What do you think? Whether what do you think about using AI-based technology for Takaful? If you are the customer, are you agree with that? Do you feel happy about it?
Doctor, in my personal point of view, I think AI-based technology for Takaful might be 50-50 in terms of retrieving the customer satisfaction, because in Takaful industry, what we know that me as customer, I would be comfortable if I have a one-to-one session with the Takaful agent.
Okay. So basically, sister, that goes back to element of trust, element of trust, okay? Because basically, based on a few research that which is available now, it seems that, when you are dealing with, with a person, okay, with a real person, okay, or it is much more, you have the, you can develop that trust, but then when it comes to chatbot, it's quite difficult, isn't it? Because you are talking to a computer, So this is, yes, very, very interesting. Okay. Okay, so basically by the assistance, okay, we already reached to our third part of our discussion. Okay. By the way, okay, I hope, okay, anyone else want to share about what's your opinion on AI, maybe? Okay. If no one, I'm going to proceed, inshallah. Okay. So right now, brothers and sisters, okay, now we come back after we understand what is Takaful, okay, we understand the history, okay, the historical foundation, and then we already see the how it is basically being developed, okay, in Malaysia, okay, up to the 4 stages right now, okay. So now let's us see, okay, the Shariah perspective, okay, on legality of Takaful. Okay, of course, our discussion today is about legal and regulatory of Takaful in Malaysia. Okay, but then of course we must understand. Okay, when it comes to Takaful, we have to basically comply not only the Shariah requirement, okay, but we also need to comply with the existing law. Okay, so brothers and sisters, now let us look at the legality of Takaful. Okay, so basically, of course, the word Takaful, if you try to find the word Takaful in Al-Quran, okay, you will not want to find it. Okay, there's no word Takaful in Al-Quran. Okay, but then basically, okay, the essence, okay, the permissibility of Takaful, okay, basically been derived, okay, from Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 2. Okay, so basically I provide here, okay, the full verse, okay, of Surah Al-Ma'idah ayah 2, okay, so you can see here, okay, but then, okay, the most striking, okay, the most basically the reference, the main reference which is used, okay, by Muslim scholars, okay, to justify, okay, the legality of Takaful is basically based on this verse, okay, wa ta'awanu 'alal birri wa taqwa wa la ta'awanu 'alal ismi wal udwan. Okay, so this is basically at the very almost at the very end of the ayah. Okay, so this is basically the the permissibility of the takaful, which is basically being used. Okay, so you can see here, help one another in albir, okay, which is which, okay, in albir and sorry, in albir wa taqwa, which is virtuous and righteousness and piety. Okay, but then do not help one another in the sin or transgression. Okay, ta'awanu. Okay, so this is basically one of the concept of takaful, which is we're going to see later on. Okay, so right now, okay, when the participant, especially, okay, when the participant or the policy holder of takaful come together, okay, come together to jointly, mutually agree, okay, to donate certain fund, certain contribution, okay. So basically, they are basically helping each other, okay, in righteousness, in virtue. Okay, so this is why, this is how they basically derive the permissibility of takaful. Okay, and then of course, when it comes to sunnah, again, okay, it is basically derived from the practice of akilah, and then this is approved by Rasulullah with certain modification. So basically, when it is practiced, okay, during the time of Rasulullah, it is already different from what been practiced during the Jahiliyah or the ignorant time. Okay, and then basically we can refer to this hadith, okay, the place of relationships and feelings of people with faith between each other is just like the body. Okay, when one of its part is inflicted with pain, then the rest of the body will be affected. Okay, so this is basically the nature of Muslims. Okay, so basically if one get hurt, if one person get hurt, okay, been harmed, for example, okay, everyone, okay, will feel the pain. Okay, so this is basically, okay, the of course this hadith also reflecting, okay, the notion of brotherhood, okay, which is basically being portrayed, okay, under the definition of Takaful Act 1984 just now. Okay, and then of course here basically just repeating the history. Okay, it is also included in the first constitution of state of Madinah, and then of course it is been approved by the practice of Sahabi or the practice of the companion. Okay, later on, brothers and sisters, we can see, okay, it is accepted. Takaful is accepted as permissible, okay, by the unanimous agreement of Muslim scholars or ijma' al-ulama. Okay, because it is very important for them, okay, it is very vital for them, in their opinion, basically to have a replacement for insurance. Okay, and then basically Takaful is, okay, a better choice, okay, for as a replacement for insurance, okay, because it is, you know, complying with Shariah principles. Okay, so far this is the fatwa. I put it here. Okay, you can see in 1974, okay, fatwa by National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs of Malaysia, okay, basically declared that life insurance is not lawful as it contains waron, maisir, and riba. Okay, and then you can see that this fatwa from Malaysian Religious Authority basically come earlier, before the OIC Fiqh Academy fatwa or resolution, okay, which is made in 1984, okay, which stated that commercial insurance is haram because it contains waron. Okay, so brothers and sisters, okay, this is the law. Okay, brothers and sisters, do you have any question? Okay, so right now, brothers and sisters, okay, of course, if you go to the Takaful contract, okay, if you go and check, I believe that okay, you have, I believe, inshallah, I believe that you have your own Takaful policy coverage. Okay, so you can see that, okay, when it comes to the Takaful contracts, okay, these are the pillars. These are the basically the important pillars for the validity of a Takaful contract. Okay, you need to have offer and acceptance, which is basically will be spelled out, okay, in the Takaful policy's terms and condition. Okay, and then you will have parties to the contract, okay, which is the Takaful operators and of course the participant themselves. Okay, and then when it comes to the subject matter, it is basically the risk itself. Okay, whether it is general risk, life or injury risk. Okay, or maybe, you know, we have other type, okay, marine. Okay, marine protection risk, you know, we have fire protection risk. Okay, so this is the subject matter. Okay, so right now, when it comes to the concept of Takaful, okay, we have these three main concepts. We have these three main principles, okay, which is ta'awun. Okay, again, still remember the verse from Surah Ma'idah, okay, wa ta'awanu 'alal birri wat taqwa. Okay, so ta'awun means mutual assistance. Okay, and then we have secondly tadamun, okay, mutual security and of course responsibility. Okay, and then lastly we have mutual protection and assurance or tabarruk. Okay, so basically regardless of the Takaful model operation which is adopted, okay, by the Takaful operators, basically this concept of Takaful are also in existence, okay, especially when they are applying inside their operation. Okay, so let us see closely, okay, where are the existence of this concept, okay, ta'awun, tabarruk, and then of course the last concept, okay, which is tabarruk. Okay, so you can see here by the assistant.
Yes.
Okay, okay, you can see the first step. Okay, the first step. Okay, this is the Takaful pool. Okay, this is the Takaful fund, the collected fund. Okay, and then we have the participants or the Takaful customers. Okay, they are also the policy holders, these participants. Okay, so basically what happened here, okay, so when the participant or the policy holders make their donation, okay, make their donation to the pool, to the Takaful fund, which is of course, okay, managed by the Takaful operators. Okay, so basically they already fulfill the first principle, which is ta'awun. mutual assistance. Okay, by by giving the donation or contribution. Okay, so once the Takaful fund is collected, okay, the Takaful fund is collected by the Takaful operator, okay, basically the mutual protections and assurance, okay, or tabarruk, okay, will be applicable. Okay, so basically this Takaful fund is made ready, okay, as a protection, as an umbrella, okay, for those for any kind of event which is basically will be faced by the participants. Okay, this is the application of the second concept, which is the second principle, which is tabarruk. Okay, later on, okay, later on, brother and sister, okay, so right now, okay, the donation already been collected, the contribution is already is already collected in the Takaful fund. Okay, now when a claim is made by a participant, okay, based on mutual security and responsibility, okay, tadamun, okay, basically the claim can be made, okay, from the collected Takaful fund. Okay, so let's see the participant A. Participant A basically make the claim. Okay, so basically the Takaful operators, okay, will provide, okay, the fund for his claim, okay, out of from this Takaful pool or Takaful fund. Okay, brother and sister, are you following me? Okay,
Yes.
I hope it is clear. Okay, so right now, okay, some people want to say, oh, I pay the contribution and then I get back the donation. Okay, actually that is not true. Okay, once you make your contribution, you make your donation, okay, that's it. Okay, it is being collected inside the Takaful fund. Okay, you are not receiving back your donation, no. Okay, what you get basically is the payment for the claim, which is basically collected, okay, from this Takaful fund. Okay, brother and sister, are you with me? You understand or not? Okay, it is important to clear any kind of misunderstanding. Okay, so right now, okay, let's say this person, participant A, okay, he basically make he have the Takaful policy. He has the Takaful policy for accident, for example. Okay, so he basically donate, let's say, 50 ringgit per month to this donation. Okay, but then after 3 weeks, he involved in accident, for example, na'udzubillah, okay, he got his claim, okay, the payment is up to, the coverage is up to, let's say, 30,000, for example. Okay, so that 30,000, brother insisted, is not his donation. It is basically the payment that he got, okay, from based on the Takaful fund, the collected Takaful fund. Okay, I hope I explaining it correctly, inshallah. Okay, brother and sister, is it clear or not? Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, and then of course later on what happened? Okay, then okay, when the claim is basically settled, okay, this is again, okay, the ta'awun concept or the mutual assistance is also operated. Okay, brother and sister, do you have any question? I hope it is clear. Thank you. So right now, brother and sister, okay, this is a little bit legal, inshallah. Okay, for those of you who are not from legal background, I hope, okay, if you have any question on, you can ask me. Okay, so right now this is the comparison, okay, between Takaful and insurance. Okay, so when it comes to the contract, okay, basically when it comes to the contract, okay, it is a combination of tabarruk contract or agency wakalah, okay, or profit and loss mudharabah. Okay, this is basically, again, when it comes to the formulation of the contract itself, it depends on what kind of Takaful operation model which basically been adopted by the Takaful operators. Okay, And then when it comes to insurance, it is basically an exchange contract. Okay, it is an exchange contract. Okay, sale and purchase, okay, between insurer and insured persons or parties. Okay, when it comes to the responsibilities of policyholder or participant by the assister, again, when it comes to Takaful, the participants or the policyholder basically donate, okay, contribute, okay, to the scheme. Okay, and then of course the participant mutually guarantee each other, okay, under the scheme. Whereas, okay, under the insurance, okay, the participant basically pay the amount of premium, okay, to the insurance company. Okay, when it comes to the liability here, okay, liability, okay, Takaful operators basically has the role, has the responsibility as an administrator of the scheme. Okay, and then basically they have the responsibility also to pay the Takaful benefits, okay, or the claim, okay, from the Takaful fund. Okay, so basically in case of deficit, okay, of the Takaful fund, okay, the Takaful operator provide an interest-free loan, okay, to top up the fund. Okay, so this is basically can be taken from their shareholders, okay, also. Okay, when it comes to the insurance company by the ancestor, okay, basically the insurance company is liable to pay the insurance benefit as promised from the assets, insurance fund and shareholders fund. Okay, when it comes to the investment of the fund, okay, of course, when it comes to the Takaful collected fund, basically they can also invest it this fund. Okay, it must be invested in Shariah compliance businesses. Okay, whereas in insurance there is no restriction, okay, imposed, okay, for such prudential reason. Okay, so brothers and sisters, this is basically a brief summary on the differences and similarity between Takaful and insurance. Okay, brother and sister, do we have any question? Okay, very silent. Okay, I'm quite early. Okay, I don't want to finish our class too early. Okay, brother and sister, are you still with me? Okay, so right now, okay, when it comes to the main legislation, okay, of Takaful, okay, again, as I said, okay, it is almost similar with the Islamic banking and finance sector, especially if you are looking into Malaysia. Okay, and then of course, okay, at all time, okay, when it comes to Takaful operation, okay, Takaful product events, okay, it must always fulfill the Shariah compliance nature. Okay, so you can see here, okay, we have now, okay, if you can see the figure I provided here, just a summary. Okay, so you can imagine, okay, you can imagine the legal landscape, okay, of Takaful in Malaysia. It's just like what we have here. Okay, so right now, okay, as usual, okay, the regulator for Takaful industry, just like in Islamic banking finance, is the Central Bank of Malaysia. Okay, and then basically we have the regulatory laws. These are the main laws of difference. Okay, we have the Central Bank of Malaysia Act 2009. We have Islamic Financial Services Act 2013. Okay, so this is basically similar with what we have for Islamic banking and finance. Okay, but then when it comes to the Takaful standard and guidelines by the ancestor, it is basically, okay, Shariah for Governance Policy Document 2009. It is basically, okay, similar and operated, okay, as against to Islamic bank also. Okay, but then when it comes to other standards and guidelines, okay, it is basically different, okay, such as Takaful operational framework and then latest licensing framework for digital insurers and Takaful operators. Okay, and then of course, okay, basically when it comes, since our legal framework is basically very regulated, okay, if you have a certain issues or matters, okay, maybe you have to look back to which proper standards or guideline that you need to refer to. Okay, but then what I provide here is among the most important. Okay, when come to the transactional laws, okay, other relevant legislation, okay, we have Contract Act 1950, Company Act 2016, okay, Bank Sale Act 1967, okay, Penal Code. Okay, maybe you can ask me why penal code is relevant. Okay, we have also Road Transport Act 1987, and then of course Anti-Money Laundering, Anti-Terrorism Financing, and Proceed of Unlawful Activities Act 2001. Okay, so this is basically the important laws or legislation which is applicable, okay, for takafuls in Malaysia. Okay, and then of course this include the operation of takaful operators in Malaysia. Okay, brother and sisters, okay, let's ask you very closely. Okay, so now when come to the Central of Malaysia Act 2009, okay, of course this is basically the legislation which give the authority for the Central Bank of Malaysia to become the main regulator for the industry. Okay, so right now here, if you go and refer to the Central Bank of Malaysia Act 2009, it is just like similar with the last week. Okay, that's last week discussion. Okay, it is basically provide, okay, the administration object function powers, okay, of the bank, which is the central bank. Okay, and then of course it also give the authority, okay, to the Central Bank of Malaysia to issue any kind of standard or guideline which they deem proper, okay, to foster the industry. Okay, and then we have of course IPSA. Okay, this is also applicable. What is the difference between regulatory law and transactional law? Okay, rather when it comes to the regulatory law, this is the main law. The main law that established the industry. Okay, the transactional laws, basically the one that we're going to refer, it will become relevant, okay, when the issue come forward. Okay, we will going to do the exercise. We will going to do the exercise on regulatory law and transactional law after this, inshallah. Okay, don't worry about it, inshallah. Okay, inshallah. Okay, so right now again, IFSA, okay, provides, okay, the regulation and supervision of Islamic financial institutions, which is of course including Takaful. Okay, and then it also provide clearly on matters of Shariah governance. Okay, for Islamic banking and of course Takaful. Okay, which we will later discuss in our next lecture, inshallah. Okay. And then of course, okay, it is important, okay, to have IFSA 2013 because this law basically uniform all the relevant laws relating to takaful operations. Okay. Now, okay, when it comes to the standards, okay, we have the Shariah Governance Policy Document, okay, Shariah Governance Policy Document 2019. Okay, actually I have the privilege to do a very in-depth research, okay, with Prof, which is of course the research project basically been led by Prof Azlan, okay, which is very closely, we did a comparison, okay, between Shariah Governance Policy Document 2019 with the previous Shariah Governance Framework 2010. Okay, so basically when it comes to the Shariah Governance Policy Document 2019, it is basically, we can say that it is much more relevant, okay, for our takaful industry as for now, okay, because it is basically capturing, okay, capturing the trend and it is basically providing, okay, the best rules or guidelines for the dynamic of the takaful operators operations. Okay, so basically you can see here, this is the latest law. Okay, this is the latest reference, the latest standards. Okay, especially if you are researching about Sharia governance. Okay, it is basically strengthen the effectiveness of Sharia governance implementations, and then of course it is giving a close up, okay, on the integration of Sharia, okay, into the business or operation of Takaful. Okay, and then in this document also, as compared to the previous one, it gives much more emphasis on the relationship, okay, between the board of directors, management of the Takaful operators or the Islamic banks, and of course with the Shariah committee themselves. Okay, and then we also have Takaful operational framework. Okay, so brothers and sisters, if you want to have a shortcut, okay, to understand, okay, about Takaful, okay, you can read, okay, you can read this document, Takaful Operational Framework. Okay, it is basically been issued in 2013, if not mistaken. Okay, it is basically almost it been issued almost at a similar time when they introduced IFSA. Okay, so basically this Takaful Operational Framework policy, okay, basically it is to advance, okay, to improve, okay, operational efficiency of Takaful business, okay, and then it is also providing a clear format, okay, on how to, on how to manage the Takaful fund, which aim for sustainable, okay, sustainable of the Takaful fund, and then of course to safeguard, okay, all the interests of the parties, okay, especially of course the policy holders. Okay, so this is the latest one, brothers and sisters, licensing framework for digital insurers and Takaful operators. Okay, so you can see that now, as for now, okay, it seems that, okay, even when it comes to Islamic banking and finance and even Takaful industry, they cannot escape themselves, yes, from basically, from the advancement of AI technology, okay, the digital technology, okay, which is becoming already, a trend, a global trend, okay. And then of course you can see here, okay, one of the, basically the aim of having this guideline or standard, okay, is basically to facilitate the entry of digital insurers and Takaful operators, okay, which is basically, okay, to enhance, okay, especially to enhance, okay, the product itself, okay, the Takaful product innovation, okay, and then of course to enhance consumer experience, okay. But then later on, okay, but then brothers and sisters, as so far, okay, this is still under the, under the exposure draft. It is not finalized yet, okay. So we're going to see, but it is in order to see whether this, standard or this guideline is going to be successful, okay, we have to see, okay, later on, okay, from the practices which is going to be done by the, I think that we're going to see newcomers, okay, for the digital Takaful operators later on, okay. Maybe, okay, so far, maybe the same we have, okay, we already have the Takaful operators now who may be going to be interested, okay, to have their own digital, okay, digital Takaful business, okay. But then still we have to see, okay, what will happen next, okay. So brother and sister, do you have any question? Okay, so it is quite straightforward, isn't it? So you can see that this is the standard and guidelines. Okay. Now, let's ask you, okay, by the way, if you don't have any question, I'm going to continue. Do you have any question? Okay. Very silent. So I take it as you understand our discussion, inshallah. Okay. So brothers and sisters, okay, when it comes to other legislation, okay, or the transactional law, of course, okay, we will have, okay, this is quite normal, okay, we have Contract Act 1950, okay, which is basically important legislation, okay, especially regarding the contract itself, okay. This is including the appointment of agent of Takaful operators, okay. But then of course, when it comes to the appointment of agent, okay, they can also be covered under the employment, okay, employment contract, okay, between the Takaful operators and the agent, okay. When it comes to Company Act 2006, when it comes to the Companies Act 2016, this is basically providing the provisions, okay, especially on the establishment or the incorporation of the Takaful companies, okay. Takaful operators. Okay, so basically in Malaysia, okay, again the same with the Islamic banks. Okay, they are public registered companies. Okay, so basically in order to establish, okay, Takaful operators, okay, there must be a companies, okay, fulfilling all the requirement under the Company Act 2016, especially in matter of their incorporation. Okay, and then when it comes to Bankruptcy Act 1967, okay, it is basically relevant, okay, on the matters of bankruptcy of individual or liquidation of company in Malaysia. Okay, so basically in Asia so far, we don't have any company, we don't have yet, okay, Takaful operators being liquidated, okay, or bankrupt, okay. It's not happened yet in Asia, okay. So far, so you can say that this it is still okay, it is still fine to mention it here, but then in order to see the operation, okay, we have to wait, okay, because so far, alhamdulillah, there is no case reported, okay, regarding, you know, liquidation of Takaful operators in Malaysia. Okay, and then when it comes to penal code, okay, it will become relevant. Okay, it will become relevant. Okay, especially when there is any kind of criminal misconduct or misappropriation of fund. Okay, or breach of trust, for example. No? So far, okay, when it comes to this kind of you know, provision under penal code, it is much more relevant to the Takaful agent. Takaful agent. Okay, we have several cases actually been reported, okay, where basically misappropriation happened, okay, which was done by the agent. Okay, and then we have Road Transport Act 1987. Okay, this law, this legislation, okay, basically will be applicable, especially when we have Takaful coverage, okay, Takaful scheme for accident cases. Okay, so basically we need to refer to this law, okay, especially in matters of, you know, road and vehicle, you know, motor vehicle issues. Okay, because in Malaysia we have a very detailed law when it comes to this motor vehicle or traffic. Okay, and then of course, okay, similar with the Islamic banks, we also have anti-money laundering, anti-terrorism financing, and proceed of unlawful activities act 2001, which is of course, okay, it is enforceable towards all Islamic financial services providers in Malaysia, including Takaful. Okay, this is basically in matters or relevant, okay, relating to offences of money laundering, okay, and then of course measures to be taken for the prevention of money laundering, and this it is basically extended, okay, to cover, okay, proceed from terrorism financing and other illegal activities. Okay, so brothers and sisters, okay, you see this is the other relevant laws. Okay, so before we go to exercise, okay, let us look back, okay, at this graph, at this summary, okay, at this figure. Okay, so you can see by the ancestors, okay, again, okay, at all time, okay, when come to the legislation, when come to the principles, okay, when come to the operation of Takaful, okay, at all time Shariah principles must be fulfilled. Shariah principle must be must be applicable. Okay, and then at the same time we also must follow the existing laws, okay, as provided by the main regulators, okay, and then of course the standard and guidelines. Okay, and then in matter of operations, okay, sometimes, okay, when it is relevant, then we have to refer to other relevant legislation. Okay, so these are the list of relevant legislation, which is of course, brother and sister, this is not exhaustive to this one. Okay, but then again, it will depend on the cases. Okay, especially when it is basically being brought to the court. Okay, so brother and sisters, okay, I did share with you the case. Okay, this case. Abu Seman Jamaluddin, and Etika Takaful Malaysia Berhad. Sorry, Etika Takaful Berhad. Case of 2021. Okay, so brother and sister, are you ready for the exercise? InsyaAllah.
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 So what
So,
we are going to look at the exercise.
okay. Sabar. Okay, I'm going to open the case. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the slide. I'm going to share the case. Okay, can you see the case right now?
Yes.
Okay, brother and sister, don't feel shocked when you see this document. Okay, this is the reported case, okay, which is already been completed in the court. Okay, so you can see here, this is Court of Appeal case. Okay, this is the name of the judge. Okay, 2020 case. Okay, so brother and sister, you can see here, this case is involving motor accident. Okay, involving a motor car, which is basically insured by the Takaful, Etika Takaful Berhad. Okay, so right now, brothers and sisters, this is very interesting. Because now I cannot bring you to court. Okay? I cannot bring you to the court. Okay, so I give you the case. Okay, so you can see the trend relating to how Takaful been treated before the court. Okay, so you can see here, brother and sister, even though we are dealing with Takaful, okay, it is treated almost the same with insurance, with the conventional insurance. Okay, so you can see here from the judgment of this court, okay, this basically been prepared by the judges, okay. You can see here that they are using the word insurance repeatedly. Okay, are you following me, brother and sister?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not trying to make you as a lawyer, okay, but then I just want to show you how you can get information. Okay, so you can see here, okay, when come to this case, okay, even though it is relating to Takaful, okay, policy, okay, it is basically when come to the relevant issue. Now you can see, the relevant issue is here, section 96(1) and 3, Road Transport Act 1987. Okay, pada Ashraf just now. Okay, so this is the transactional law. Okay, when it is relevant to the issue, when the legislation, when the situation or the case, okay, require for reference of the transactional law, then you have to refer to the law. Okay, but then, okay, when it comes to the regulatory law, you cannot escape at all because you have to refer to that law. Okay, because why? If you don't follow the regulatory law or the main law, then the Takaful industry itself cannot be existed. Okay, do you understand the difference? Okay, I hope I am explaining it very clearly. Okay, brother and sister. Okay, so you can see here, okay, what happened in this case, I just summarize you a bit. Okay, so basically right now, okay, Etika in this case, Etika Takaful in this case, okay, refuse to pay the benefits, okay, the Takaful benefits, okay, upon the claim made, okay, by this person, okay, by this person. Okay, so you can see here, one of the reasons here been discussed here. Okay, basically this is the normal practice which is happened, okay, among the public especially. Okay, so right now in this case, okay, okay, basically what happened, okay, the participant or the policy holder, okay, he made a deal, okay, he made a deal with the third party. Okay, the third party in this case is the one that basically involved with him in the accident. Okay, you understand me or not? Okay, he entered negotiation, okay, with third party rider for the purpose of settlement. Okay, so basically this is basically something which is again not according to the Takaful contract. Okay, so basically he made a negotiation with the third party rider, okay, because he want to get the settlement, okay, and then he did this kind of settlement, okay, without any consent from the applicant, from the Etika Takaful. Okay, brother and sister, do you understand or not, brother and sister? Are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, so this is quite normal. Okay, this is happening. Okay, this is happening quite normal. Okay, especially when involving accident. Okay, so right now, okay, later on, after he making this kind of deal, okay, or negotiation with the third party rider, okay, he then claim he still want to claim again with Etika Takaful. Okay, so this is one of the reason why, okay, the Etika Takaful basically refuse, okay, to fulfill the claim. Okay, so this is basically, you know, certain kind of cases that can happen. Okay, so this is my question, brother and sister. Okay, this is my question. This is the exercise for you guys. Okay, so you can see here, brother and sisters, okay, again, we go back to the main legislation and relevant legislation. Okay, so even though if we are talking about the entire industry itself, the entire Takaful industry itself, okay, again, we cannot escape, okay, okay, the main legislation, which means that because these are the law which give birth, okay, which basically authorize the existence of the Takaful industry itself, okay. But then when it comes to other relevant laws, okay, again, when it is basically relevant, okay, to the issue, okay, then we have to refer to the other relevant laws. Okay, so you can see here, okay, even though the contract or the agreement itself is not mentioned here, okay, but then from the beginning of this case, okay, until the end, okay, the judges are still following the agreement, okay, the Takaful contract, okay, which is basically concluded, okay, between the parties. Okay, brother and sister, are you following me?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, do you have any questions? Is it clear? Who bring the case to the court? Okay, so right now at the stage of court of appeal, okay, basically Etika is the one who bring in the case. Okay, so you can see here the details been provided here. Okay, proceeding at the High Court. Okay, so during the High Court proceeding, okay, basically, they making the originator summon. Okay, basically in order for, okay, to stop, okay, to stop or to cancel, okay, the claim that it is made by the participant, actually, by the policy holder. Okay, so you can see in details what happened here, very details here, you know. But then you can see here in this case, the judge, okay, the judges basically referring closely to the road traffic act, to the road traffic act. Okay, So you can see here, okay, even though they have the agreement, the Takaful agreement, okay, but then again, the judges basically need also to evaluate, okay, based on the Road Traffic Act. Okay, brother and sister, you can read this case at all, insyaAllah. Okay, come back to our slide again. Okay, can you see my slide again?
Yes, Sultan.
Okay, so you can see here, okay, this is the main legislation. When it comes to the operation, when it comes to the structure, okay, when it comes to the Shariah governance, then you have to refer to the main legislation. Okay, but then, however, when it comes to the, when it is relevant to the issue, okay, or to the case, okay, then you have to refer to the other legislation. Okay, are you guys following me?
Yes, Sultan.
Okay, so let's say the case which is basically being discussed in the court is relating to the provision under anti-money laundering. Okay, so they will go and refer to this law. Okay, but then if let's say it is about issue on Shariah non-compliant event, for example, okay, then you have to refer back to the main legislation. Okay, specifically relating to Islamic Financial Services Act 2013 or IFSA, and then of course the Shariah Governance Policy Document 2019. Okay, do you have any question about the sister?
Doctor, can I ask?
Yes, Dr. Shafiq.
Does the Takaful company apply the same legislation and framework?
Yes, they also apply the same laws. Okay, but then of
Okay,
course
thank you, Doctor.
when come to Takaful, they have their own standard and guideline also. Okay, so basically, if you want to go and check in details about those standards and guidelines, okay, then you have to go again, refer back to the website, okay, of Central Bank of Malaysia that I already showed you last week. Okay. Okay, at the same time also, brother and sisters, again, I would like to repeat, you have still the Shariah principles are also need to be followed at all time. Okay, brother and sisters, do you have any questions? Okay, how about microfinance? Which act do they need to follow? Okay, thank you, Brother Ashraf. The same law, brother. The same law, but then again, when it comes to the guideline standard, okay, maybe they are different. You have to check again. Okay, so basically it is pretty straightforward, isn't it? Okay, but then again, okay, if you want to refer to more cases, okay, you can go and access, okay, the assist database, okay, that's available provided by the IIUM library. Okay. Okay, but then so far, if you go to the reported cases, many cases are reported basically relating to Road Transport Act 1987. Okay, and then there is also cases here reported, okay, basically relating to agent. Okay, in one of the cases, basically the agent misappropriate the fund. Okay, so basically what happened in that case, I think maybe because the case is being reported quite, before we have the mobile apps and all, okay. So basically, what happened in that case, basically the participant, okay, the policy holder is the one who paying. Okay? He basically he paid the contribution or donation, okay, through the agent. Okay, but then instead of paying to the Takaful operator, okay, the agent misappropriate the fund. Okay, of course, in this case again, okay, basically the judge held that, okay, the Takaful operators still has the obligation, okay, to fulfill the claim which is requested, okay, by the person, okay, because basically it is not under the, no, it is basically not under the responsibility, okay, of the policy holder, okay, to ensure the due diligence of the agent. Okay, so you can see here again, okay, they are applying, okay, they are referring to the contract. Sorry, they are referring to the Takaful policy, okay, and then at the same time also, okay, they are applying the penal code provisions. Okay, brother and sister, is it clear? Do you have any question? Okay.
If I may add on that point, Dr. Razina and everyone, I think there is a provision in ISA that the act of an agent is deemed the act of Takaful provider. Yeah, you can check IFSA because everything that what we call it act or anything action, any action done or what we call it by the Takaful provider, it is deemed by virtue of law as the act done by the Takaful provider. So Takaful provider is the person who is responsible rather than the Takaful agent. Of course, the Takaful agent, Takaful operator will take necessary action against the Takaful agent, against the agent. But in the law, the liability or accountability is on the what we call it, the Takaful provider rather than the agent. Yeah. So I think that is provided in IFSA.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to add on that, Dr. Razina, and all.
Thank you
Yeah.
both. But then in that case, which I refer, they don't make the judges basically not referring to IFSA. They just directly applying the normal, the normal procedure, okay, and then of course they refer to the penal code, okay, based on the misappropriation of fund. Okay, so brother and sisters, okay, basically, Prof, I already finished my slide. Okay. Brother and sisters, if you have further question, inshallah. If there is no question, I would like to end this session, this class, inshallah.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Razina.
Yes, Brother Faiz.
This is my first class, so can I get the previous recording and the slide also?
Yes, brother. Actually, right now, I having an issue with the Google Cloud.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm basically right now I'm transferring all the recording, okay, into YouTube. Okay. So it seems that it taking some time because it is keep on, keep on in order to transfer from the cloud, okay, from the cloud to the YouTube channel. It seems heavy, I think. So this is that's why I'm taking some time. Okay, but then inshallah everything will be available in the Microsoft Team, inshallah.
All right, Doctor. Also the slides.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
As for today's class, I already shared the slide inside our WhatsApp, but then I'm going to repeat to send it again in our Microsoft Team, inshallah.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. So brother and sister, do you have any further question? Okay. Prof, you want to say something else, Prof? You want to add something else, Prof? Okay, so this is basically, okay, please don't confuse yourself. Okay, you can refer exactly to this figure, just a summary. Okay, inshallah. Okay, so brother and sister, okay, thank you for attending my class for today. If there is no further questions, okay, I would like to end our class today and have a good iftar, inshallah.
Dr. Razina,
Yes.
is there any the last class before Raya or what? Next week ada kelas lagi ke?
I believe that we still have another one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. So thank you so much. Okay. Assalamualaikum for attending my class.
Waalaikumsalam, Dr.
Thank you,
Thank
Doctor.
you, Prof.
Okay,
Thank you,
just
Doctor.
on simple one, the point that I did mention, the duty of disclosure and then the knowledge of the that is provided in schedule 8 to 10. You cannot find it in IFSA per se, but you need to go at the back. There's a schedule 8 until schedule 10, talking about the knowledge of the agent and the accountability of the agent is actually the Takaful operator. It's under Takaful operator. Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Selamat berbuka, everyone. See you next week, and then only we can say Selamat Hari Raya for next week. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.